Hi, Madbronco here. Behind me is today's load. The truck I'll be driving is a Mercedes-Benz and the load is a 24-ton container house. We will be driving from Glasgow to Aberdeen, so please join me and let's get trucking. Okay, good morning. Thank you for joining me. As you can see, I'm in the truck already, getting ready to leave. Can't be too long doing this because they're waiting out on the road. Escort vehicles, so we get the engine started, check around the mirrors quick. As you can see, the load is exceptionally wide today, and that's why we're driving as part of a convoy. Got our lights on, we've got beacons on the trailer, so I think we get moving. We've got a sat nav in the dashboard, but we don't really need that because we'll be following the the escort vehicle. So as we head out, it's all very exciting. This, a lot of people around. It's all the guys that were getting it all set up and strapped down this morning. See a police car and escort vehicle out on the road, so they should be holding up the traffic. So here we go, first special transport delivery, first challenge. What's it getting out of this gateway? Take it a little bit careful, the back could well swing and hit the wall. Looks like we've made it out. So yeah, so we're back on the road, back in the UK after our adventures in America and Canada, and looks like we're turning right here, so it's dual carriageway at the moment, which is pretty helpful. Police everywhere holding up the traffic. Obviously got our escort vehicle in front, should be one behind somewhere. Sitting there in the mirror. So yeah, so here we go. Bit of a murky morning this morning here in the UK, but yeah, it's good to be back. We don't have to stop for red lights or anything. Right, okay, so this is where it's going to start to get interesting. Obviously we're down to a single lane road now, so we'll take this a little bit careful, get this lined up nice and straight, make sure we can get through here with these cars. And the trailer as well, I've got to be a little bit careful with the trailer because the wheels on the trailer actually steer as well, so it does turn slightly differently to a conventional trailer. But yeah, I've come back to the UK. All my loads from now on in are going to be heavy haulage, special delivery, special transport. Some are escorted like this load. So it's a bit of a baptism by fire, this first one back in the UK, straight in with a escorted load. And then yeah, so I won't be doing so many loads per week, because all the loads, like I say, are heavy haulage. I won't be doing any box trailers or containers or anything. Right, here we go again. See how we get around here. You're going to stop or not? Negotiate this corner, still on 2-lane road, taking it steady. So yeah, so like I say, straight back here. Careful, watch that car. And we're doing the other side. Got lampposts along here which are not that helpful. Don't really want to be taking the lamppost down. It's alright, there's nothing coming, we can kind of take a lane and a half. Right, okay, so I think we've kind of pretty much negotiated the town, pretty much out of the town now, still only 2-lane road, but we've got, wow, look at that over the white line. Obviously our escort vehicle in front does warn oncoming vehicles and pushes them over, so that's helpful. I think it might be an idea to kind of sit right out on the white line, even with the cab of the truck, just to give me enough space on the inside, especially with a crash barrier here. So yeah, that's what I'm doing back in the UK, well, and Europe. First couple of loads are in the UK. Obviously I'm based out of Dover, down in the south. And if you've been with me before, you will know that all my loads used to connect up as we went through the week. It's not so easy to do that with this type of a load. Right, looks like we're turning left here to go on the motorway. I'm going to swing right across as they're holding up the traffic to give me the best opportunity to get round here as we go up the slip road onto the motorway. Looks like they were holding the traffic on the motorway. Yep. Where's our... oh blimey, people are getting impatient. So they're holding the traffic. Right, there's our escort vehicle waiting for us. So it looks like we're going to stop here for a second. Make sure the escort vehicle is behind us. I can't actually see him, but the two escort vehicles are in radio communication, so all looks good as we set off. Obviously we're on a motorway now, dual carriageway, 2 lanes, so I can kind of sit across the 2 lanes a little bit, and I've got the hard shoulder to use as well. Oh, looks like there's a few people up there on the bridge watching. Not much traffic about, a little bit murky this morning. So yeah, so basically the okay, so they are going to start coming past us. They've obviously let the traffic go at that junction, so I'll have to sit so that the trailer is over the hard shoulder on the left there. And my right hand side there, you can see in the mirror, I just have to sit pretty much on the centre line. You have to be careful when you get things like buses coming past, coaches. Obviously we're speed restricted with this type of a load. The speed is dictated by the escort vehicle in front. I mean, this load, it's not particularly heavy. What was it, 27 tonnes? Obviously the issue is the width. It is quite long as well, actually. That's not so much of an issue. Obviously the issue mostly is with the width, as you can see there in the mirror. That's why we're escorted, and then obviously we're speed limited as well with the escort vehicles, so it'll be a pretty slow old trip. Gives us a chance to look at the scenery a little bit. Obviously when you're buzzing along at 60 miles an hour, the old scenery or anything of interest buzzes past pretty quick. I haven't really got that much time to look at the scenery. Obviously I need to be keeping on the mirrors, keeping my wits about me with what's going on. And this type of a load with a escort vehicle, they're, due to road width restrictions and towns and bridges and stuff. They're not going to be the longest of loads. They are pretty short to get things from A to B, and we won't be stopping anywhere en route. So because everything's so sort of time critical because of road closure. Not so much road closures, but the police are out holding up the traffic in certain places, and obviously a lot of organisation goes into a load like this to be able to hold the traffic up. And oh blimey, I've got this truck coming past me and I need to get over a little bit so the trailer's not on the hard shoulder, as we've got some roadworks. So I'm going to take the 2 lanes here. Oh blimey, somebody was trying to come up my outside, really? As I've lost the hard shoulder, I'm going to have to take the 2 lanes, I think. Give me enough space so there won't be anything coming past for a minute. So yeah, so obviously this is from Glasgow to Aberdeen, and under normal sort of circumstances I would have taken a load out of Dover to get ultimately to Glasgow, but due to the nature of, like I say, a lot of these loads, there won't be so many, and I am going to try and connect place to place, but it's not always going to be possible, I don't think. I've been quite lucky this first couple of loads that they've connected up. Like I say, this is out of Glasgow, so I've actually flown up to Glasgow to pick this up. Been up here a day or so, going through the route, and like I say, it's a lot of organisation into a load like this. And then we've set off this morning, so we'll see how it goes, but it will all be these what they call special transports or heavy haulage type of loads this time back in Europe. There won't be any box trailers, containers, curtain sides, whatever, just which to fill in the week. I will literally go from heavy haulage to heavy haulage type of a load, so there may not be so many during the week. We'll see how it goes. Like I say, I've got 3 this first week, which kind of takes me on a bit of a trip around the UK. Well, that's the end of the road work, so I suppose we should kind of edge back over, so the trailer's over the hard shoulder, allow the traffic past. So yeah, we're back in the UK, back in a UK European style cab over truck. Obviously for the last few months I've been in the US and Canada driving American trucks, which where's the escort vehicle going? Oh, he's pulling over to make sure nobody comes up the slip road. Okay. Because we've got to get in that lane anyway. Yeah, obviously I've been driving American long nose style trucks for the last few months, which, well, took a little bit of getting used to at the beginning. We've obviously got the bonnet and the grille and etc. of the truck out in front of you. But we're back in a European cab over style truck, like I say, back on the right hand side. is nice. It was quite nice to get back into a Mercedes truck, as it's turned out to be today. Obviously when we get back in Europe we'll be back in a left-hand drive truck, still a cab over style of truck of course, but yeah, it's good to be back. I mean, I had a good time out in the States, in Canada. Obviously the last few weeks or so experienced some snow, and oh blimey, look at the tank in that trailer there, that's a pretty cool load. Well, I experienced quite a lot of different weather out in the States. Obviously I was out there during the summer, down in Florida and places, and then in the last few weeks or so in the winter with the snow and rain up in Canada. Yeah, it was an enjoyable trip. I enjoyed it. I didn't get round everywhere I wanted to go. Obviously I wanted to try and get down into Mexico. That didn't happen this time, unfortunately, and only really got sort of halfway across Canada. But obviously I wanted to come back to the UK, see my family and stuff, and this opportunity came up to do these special transports and some heavy haulage, so I decided to kind of put that together and see if I could find enough kind of heavy haulage type of loads, and that's what I'm doing. You know, it seemed a bit silly to come back to the UK for a couple of weeks, have a break, to then just go back to the States, or well, back to Canada, when this opportunity came up. It's not something that comes up every day. You know, I mean, I have done heavy haulage before. Right, looks like we're going off here. So we're in the lane. Bit of a downhill, so I have to be careful on the brakes. So it's not the heaviest of loads, but it's heavy enough. So yeah, so I thought I'd take this opportunity. Yeah, I've done some heavy haulage before. Nothing quite like this with escorted loads or anything. I have done some trailers with some steering wheels, but this trailer's, you know, it's completely different. So it's something to get used to. Alright, so we're off the motorway. Looks like we're going onto a dual carriageway, which is good news. As I can take, oh no we're not. Oh, we're back onto a 2-lane road. Sorry, my mistake. Obviously I'm going to take this a little bit careful then, especially with oncoming traffic. Good, there's nothing coming there. We can take a nice swing into the other side. Yeah, so all the loads, well, for the foreseeable future while we're back in the UK and Europe, will be, like I say, pretty interesting. Heavy haulage, just some interesting loads, no box trailers or anything. And I still want to get to certain places for the weekends, try and do a driving experience. But this time I won't be taking any sort of, like I say, box trailer, sort of a bit of a filler load just to get me somewhere. Oh, the church up there on the left. Well, we'll have a look in a second if I get a chance. We obviously keep an eye on this car coming the other way. Did spot a church. I think we've probably gone past it now. Yeah, well, well gone past it. And then, yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Obviously, still enjoying my trucking. most definitely got away from the original idea of this style of trucking and making the videos, was to get away from the day-to-day routine of driving the same truck on the same route day in, day out. So I think over this last sort of year or so, it's just over a year I've been doing this now, I think I've pretty much achieved that. Obviously we started in the UK and Europe, so we went out to the States and Canada, now we're back in Europe. Like I say, I've stepped it up a little bit, that everything's going to be this type of heavy haulage type of a load. So yeah, certainly enjoying my trucking. So right, so we're obviously on a 2-lane road here, not a lot of traffic about, which is pretty handy, and there's no crash bar or anything on the left, so I can let the trailer overhang the verge a little bit there, as you can see in the mirror. Obviously we're kind of halfway across the other lane, as you can see in the right hand mirror there. Oh, there's another church there over to the right. Yeah, this is some quite nice scenery. Obviously we're up in Scotland. Obviously some of the trees look a bit bare. Still a bit of a murky old day, at least it's not raining. That was one concern, that it was going to be raining today. But the weather's held, so I can't complain at that. Oh blimey mate, get over. So like I say, obviously these loads will be pretty slow and steady, because we're dictated by the escort vehicle in front, which are only allowed to travel at a certain speed. And I think, to be quite honest with you, even when we're out on our own, which we will be for some of the loads, because not every load is an escorted load, I think even then we will decide myself what sort of speed I'm going to do, obviously to be able to control the truck and the trailer, etc. So probably most of these loads will be relatively sedate compared to driving, a normal box trailer or something. We'll see. We'll obviously deal and take every load on its own merits as it comes. Obviously also when I'm on my own, I'll have the choice, if needed, that I'll be able to stop in a rest stop. Yeah, we're okay there. It's quite a nice day, isn't it? It's quite a nice view. There's kind of a bit of a bluey grey sky. It's kind of a weird colour, isn't it? It's nice there across the hill, and it's a lake or a river down to the right there. Yeah, this is quite a nice route. Yeah, I'm enjoying this first load back in Europe. Bit of a windy road coming up on the sat-nav. It is actually quite handy to have the sat-nav on, even though we don't actually need it, because we can follow the escort vehicle, but just to see what's coming up ahead of us. I'm pretty glad this is a quiet road, not too much traffic, only a few cars coming the other way, so we can for the most part hang the trailer right over the centre line. Well, this is a bit of a tight old bit, well not that tight, but downhill. Oh blimey. Take this steady. As something comes the other way, that's okay, I've got space to get over. Now we've got to go uphill. Yeah, perhaps not the easiest of routes to drive with such a wide load through these kind of country lanes. Up and down. But you can't do every load on the motorway. Obviously when we get to Aberdeen we'll have to negotiate the town, city streets, etc. Get into the where we're taking this mobile container house thing. Oh wow, look at that sunset behind us, just up on the edge of the trailer. That's nice, isn't it, in the mirror? There's the sun. Oh, what a nice picture there in the mirror. Finally we're seeing a little bit of the sun late in the day. Oh yeah, it was a river, it's still down there to the right. Oh blimey. Watch out, we've got a truck coming the other way. Should be okay, we'll cross far enough, yep. Oh, and a police car. Yeah, look at this is pretty nice, isn't it? Not that we would be travelling that fast through here, even if we wasn't kind of restricted with the speed, but it's nice to just kind of cruise along. Take in the view, and you've got some nice scenery. Nice sunset in the mirror there, over the edge of the trailer. Well, the house on the trailer. Yeah, okay on the inside there. Something coming the other way, so that should be okay, it's only a car. So yeah. And I've driven all this way, and I forgot to say that I hope everybody's alright today. Hope everybody's having a nice day wherever you are in the world. Hope you might as well include it into hope you're enjoying this video. Hope you're enjoying the trip and the scenery. Pretty nice old scenery today. As you can see, there's that river. And it'd be nice if you would consider liking the video, maybe subscribing to the YouTube channel and turning on the notifications. Oh look, a couple of hot air balloons there. I bet that's a nice old view from up there. So you can see when I upload more videos, trucking and racing videos and driving videos. So I'd like to think my channel, if you're interested in trucks and or cars, driving on the road, driving on the track, that my channel is, might be of interest to you. So yeah, doesn't cost anything to subscribe and get the notifications. Also I have a Also I have a Facebook page that goes along with the channel, which obviously you can keep updated when I put out the videos. I put some extra content on there. So again, maybe check that out. Maybe like the page. Again, doesn't cost anything. So yeah, that's my little spiel for the day. We started off with hope everybody's alright, which, like I say, was a bit late in the trip. I got there in the end. There's something quite peaceful about driving the truck. Obviously I was quiet there, and you can just hear the sound of the engine, and there's something quite peaceful about that. I do like that. Oh, that's alright. I was a bit worried there with them rocks on the left and a truck coming. Yeah, there's something quite peaceful about a nice view outside, just the hum of the engine, the sunset just going below the horizon behind us there. Couldn't ask for a better day. Yeah, it's nice to get back into a European truck. I've kind of missed this, driving the cab over trucks, not having to worry about the bonnet. Oh blimey, this is not really where you want to meet a lorry coming the other way on a corner, and got a blooming wall on the inside. Let's try and get away from that. It was a bit close. I'll take a bit of the other lane, I think, just to make sure that we can get away from that wall. Luckily there's nothing else coming. Right, well, it's starting to get a bit dark now the sun's going. See the old beacon light flashing up on the grass verge there on the left. I don't think it's that much further, to be quite honest with you. I think we must be nearly there. Great, another barrier wall on the inside of the corner. That's okay, got a bit of room. Oh yeah, I think we're hitting civilization. A couple of vehicles coming the other way. Let's get back over. Now the wall's gone, especially as one's a truck. Yeah, I think we're kind of, looks like it's just coming up on the sat nav. Aberdeen, so we're pretty much nearly there. Just negotiate this last little bit of country road and then hit the town. So I'll have to get back into real concentration mode. I'll just one last sharp left hand bend. Hopefully nothing's coming the other way. That's okay, there's no wall as well, so good to go there. Yeah, and we get this one delivered. So far so good. Yeah, I pretty much enjoyed this. I don't really like the fact that we can't stop anywhere, i.e. for a break or anything, but right, so yeah, let's turn in right here. Looks like they've held the traffic up, which is good, which is helpful. Wow, holding a lot of traffic up. Oh, that's helpful as well. We're going on to a little bit of dual carriageway as we come into the town, coming to Aberdeen. So I should use both lanes. Oh, that was a bit tight through there. So go through a tunnel into the town. Yeah, definitely use both lanes here, especially as we've got a tunnel wall on one side and a concrete barrier in the middle. So I should use, just drive down the middle, I think. Can't even see the blooming trailer against where it is near the wall, so yeah, we'll definitely stay in the middle. Should have plenty of room. So we haven't got far to go now. Probably the worst bit of the journey. as well as the first part of the journey, where obviously, like I say, you're negotiating city streets. Right, that's done the tunnel. And of course we could have more junctions, roundabouts, all the tricky stuff to negotiate. But I think we'll just hog both lanes, as it were, here. Stop anybody trying to come past me. It's the last thing I need. People trying to squeeze past me. I think we might have a roundabout coming up, like I said. Some of the things we've got. Looks like a roundabout, just round this right hand curve. So that's going to be interesting. See how we get on with this roundabout. So I've got nobody coming past me, which is good, so I can take both lanes. Looks like they're holding the traffic up, that's helpful as well. I just need to concentrate on getting in the right position. Right, so let's see. Looks like they're holding the traffic, that's good. So we just negotiate the roundabout, position ourselves in the correct position. We should be good to go. And then, like I say, oh blimey, that's pretty not helpful. The truck on the exit, but he's held back a little bit so I can swing across there. We need to watch this railing on the inside. Thanks, buddy. That's probably pretty helpful, that, yeah, hanging back. Should allow me time to get straight. Take it slow. Should be clear of the railing now, so we can kind of head back in towards the pavement. Yeah, watch the lampposts, and here we are. So the fact that they're blocking the road, I can swing across, get a nice wide swing into this yard, and we've made it. So obviously all we've got to do now is negotiate wherever they want it in the yard. Wait for the barriers to go up and let us in, and then we're done. Well, I have to say that was pretty enjoyable. I enjoyed that. I mean, it's quite stressful, it's quite taxing on the old brain, it's quite, you know, you've got to be really on the ball. Not saying you haven't got to be on the ball to be a truck driver anyway, but there's that added element of the fact that it's so wide. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was yeah, obviously been able to take it that little bit slower. Right, not the best place over here really, right up against these in between these pillars, girders that are holding up the structure above, but we should be able to get it into this space. Obviously the fact that the trailer steers, it's, you know, the wheels on the trailer steer should help us to get around into this bay over here. So let's see, we put the truck over here, which hopefully the time we straighten up should bring the trailer pretty straight on the bay. Maybe not as good as I'd hoped. See what we can do. We might have to pull through and shunt it back once. Some interesting loads in this yard. Like a radar, mobile radar station or something. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's worry about our load. Oh, it may have, oh, I think it's come better than I'd anticipated. I think we're pretty much there. Well, that was a bonus. Thought we'd kind of fluffed it a little bit. So yeah, so we've made it. Our first escorted load. Wow. Yes, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed driving it, and hope you'll consider maybe liking the video and the channel, maybe the Facebook page as well. So that's it for today. I hope to see you next time. Bye.